to DC in June of 2014. Once life settled down, we got the biggest news that we could have ever imagined. We figured out that we were expecting. Then probably 2 weeks later, I got a full-time job. I didn't get time to put the effort into the business. It was automatic. I came back, found out I was expecting, and then got a full-time job. I wasn't able to work Premier while working my other job, and I still had that lack of purpose. I'm working, but I'm not fulfilled. It was long hours, it was long days, I was pregnant, a lot of doctor's appointments, and there was just no time for Premier, and that really affected me because I wasn't able to connect with women and make friends. 3 weeks before I was supposed to go back to work, I got a phone call and they had done away with my position. And that was crushing because we had the anticipation of me going back full time and having that income. And I made 2 phone calls after receiving that call from my previous employer. The first one was to my husband, and I told him that they had laid me off, and he said, "Don't worry, we'll figure it out." And then the second one was to Elizabeth, because she has been my rock through this entire Premier journey. She was like, "Don't worry, this was just God answering your prayers." Looking back on it now, it was an answer to a prayer. It was not the way I wanted it answered, but He doesn't always answer them how we want them, so. It was our opportunity to make Premier full-time, and we were so excited about that. My husband was really supportive. I personally was excited to be able to get back to doing parties and getting back to enriching women's lives and giving them the opportunity and the hope that I was getting with Premier, and knowing that I'm able to stay home with my son and still be a business owner and bring money in. It was gonna be a tough road, and we knew that because it was gonna be a financial change, but we had faith that God would see us through. Now I can look and I can say it was probably the best thing that ever happened. So once we got the word that I would not be going back to work, and then we would need to get Premier going full time, my husband and I sat down, and even after talking with Elizabeth, we made that decision that I had to be at Rally. Rally 2015 was the most incredible experience I think I've ever had. I knew I was gonna get fellowship with my fellow jeweler friends. I was gonna get phenomenal training and probably some moments of growth in between. It was more than I think I could have ever imagined. I was Premier full-time, so I took notes like crazy. I was like, I need to absorb it all. I need to take it all in, because I'm going back to DC and Virginia with the purpose to kind of provide for my family and to be there for my family. I had no idea the growth, the emotional growth that I would experience at that rally. The most, I think, pivotal moment at that national rally was at Mandisa's concert. I felt God speaking specifically to me in that moment. Like, you will be stronger, you will overcome this. That song got me through so much. There was a sense of peace and a lot of tears, because I knew that God had me. I knew that He was gonna protect me and my family, and He was gonna make me stronger, and I would overcome. After Rally, I was so excited to get my business going. At that time, we had been in DC for about a year. I'd made a couple friends, so when I was at Rally, I'd reached out to people to start booking parties and having parties for me. So I got a couple shows on the calendar, and my business just took off, and I knew that it was God's work. I couldn't have done it without Him. He knew what He was orchestrating, and it was so exciting to be able to have Him in control of my business. It's helped me grow in my faith with the Lord. I know that had I not joined Premier in 2010, I probably wouldn't have been surrounded with as many like-minded people. My husband got orders to California, So we are currently in gonna be in another season of life. I'm excited to grow Premier. I've loved that no matter where I've gone, I've been able to start my business again. God has always given me that opportunity to grow my business no matter where we're at. It's a great feeling to know that like I've got this that I can take with me no matter where I go. So I always knew that God was ultimately in control. But like looking back on your story and seeing where God has like really impacted it and how everything is orchestrated for his purpose is so crazy to see. To see his story play out in your life is like, it's amazing.